So let's talk with a few more specifics about common threats. Two of them are inappropriate website access and data theft. So let's talk about the first one: third parties getting access to your website without permission. So this type of tampering can come in many different forms. Your website could be changed or defaced, or your pages could be injected with invisible code that will download malware to a visitor's computer. Let's talk a little bit more about these two. So oftentimes, someone who does get access to your hosting account, gets access to your cPanel, can do anything that they want to your website. And so you'll learn about a lot of examples of sites that have nasty messages to their visitors written on the website by disgruntled employees. You'll have situations where these anonymous hackers who are young kids experimenting with techniques of getting into people's databases and websites will put curse words and things like that onto websites just because they can. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that your website can be changed and defaced. One thing that is really prevalent is that web pages could be infected with malware. And so this was a really big problem about 10 years ago, where lots of pages that were compromised would have code injected into them, and then that code would illicitly download something onto a piece of code onto someone's computer, and then that computer would essentially be hijacked by a bad actor. And so when it was hijacked by a bad actor, it could be that this person, all of their keystrokes were logged, and so the idea was that their credit card might be stolen. There were situations where this computer could inadvertently be part of a denial of service attack, so someone could take over your computer and take over your computer processor to help them maliciously attack another computer without even knowing it. And so there's all sorts of things that third parties can do if they put code onto your website. And so that's one of the things that you should make sure that your host is secure, and your content management system like WordPress is up to date and everything like that. And those are some ways that you can avoid that, and we'll talk a lot more about that in the best practices section. But moving on, let's talk about data theft. And so when thinking about data that is typically stolen, common examples are sensitive computer files, so again, customer lists, financial records, and also passwords to access computer accounts. And so the password to your Dropbox, or the password to your Gmail accounts, or the passwords to your other company email accounts, or even the passwords to your user accounts, assuming that you have the type of business that users can log into your website. This data is typically stolen in various ways. So you have physical theft of laptops or computers. You have people either physically or from a third-party standpoint intercepting emails or other internet transactions because you don't have a secure website, or because the emails go through some sort of third party and the third party is a bad actor. You have phishing emails that trick you into giving away personal information. So phishing, you can look up a definition of that in Google if you don't know what it is. But standard phishing attempts are those spam emails that you see that pretend to be, I don't know, Amazon.com or PayPal or something like that, and they request that you submit your information to them, when secretly it's actually a fake PayPal.com or a fake Amazon.com, and they try to do that in order for you to put in your password information to those websites, so they can then know what your password is to those websites and figure out your own personal information, maybe get your credit card information, etc. And finally, data is also stolen through traditional identity theft. So someone figures out one piece of personal information that's useful through whatever channels, and then they use all sorts of means to get the rest of that information, calling government offices, stealing your mail, things like that. So those are two common threats, and there are many more that we'll talk about in this course.